Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today I was driving in a car and I was listening to C-SPAN and they were rebroadcasting Meet the Press. And on that broadcast, Dr. Ben Carson made some rather controversial and disappointing statements. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about those statements. Here's what he said. He basically said that he would not support a Muslim as president of the United States. And here's exactly what he said. He said, I would not advocate that we put a Muslim in charge of this nation. I absolutely would not agree with that. And then he also went on to say that Islam as a religion is incompatible with the Constitution. And I'm reading from MSNBC, and I'll post a link to that article in the description box to this video so you can read it for yourself and get more information about that. I used to have a lot of respect for Ben Carson. I saw him as a role model, as an inspiration, as someone to look up to. He was from a single parent household. He was poor. He had problems in school, but he managed to overcome those problems. He managed to go on to attend and graduate from the best schools in the country, and he eventually became a renowned doctor, a recognized and celebrated physician. So I saw him as a role model, someone to aspire to be like. And for quite some time, I had a lot of respect for this man. But that respect disappeared when this man entered the arena of politics. It seems as if this brilliant man completely lost his mind when he became a politician. I can't understand how any African American in their right mind can condone religious discrimination, given the history of discrimination against African American people in this country. Now, I'm not saying that racial discrimination is comparable to religious discrimination in this country. I'm simply saying this. We were victims of discrimination, and we should be the last people condoning discrimination. We were deprived of our dignity, our self-respect, and we should not condone that the same thing happened to others. And that's essentially what he's doing by openly endorsing discrimination against Muslims. The Constitution states in Article 6 that there is no religious test required for a candidate who's running for office. In Article 2 of the Constitution, it outlines the requirements to be president of the United States. Nowhere in there does it say that one has to be a Christian or one has to be of any other faith or any particular faith or of any faith at all. It outlines requirements and none of them mention religion. They don't even mention race. So it's just really sickening. And as I said in another post, discrimination against Muslims is one of the few forms of discrimination that is accepted in this society. And that's because people have been programmed to fear and hate Muslims. They are programmed by constant news broadcasts that depict Muslims as terrorists. That's the only image of Muslims that people see on television. So naturally, they become afraid of Muslims. Naturally, they hate Muslims because of that conditioning. And it's just a shame to see a black man participate in that kind of hatred and that type of discrimination, especially given the fact that African Americans make up a large percentage of Muslims in this country. Most Muslims are law-abiding citizens in this country. Most Muslims in this country are patriotic. They love the democratic values that this country espouses. They serve in the military. Many of them are elected officials. They love what this country stands for just as much as any other American. And it's just a shame that you would have a black man support discrimination against Muslims. If he said any other group shouldn't be president, there would be outrage. There would be demands for action. There would be a demand that he drop out of the campaign. Imagine if he said that he would not support a Jew for president of the United States. Imagine all the hell that he would catch for making such a statement. Imagine the hell that he would catch if he said he wouldn't support a Catholic to be president of the United States, or a Mormon to be president of the United States, or Seventh-day Adventist to be president of the United States, or a Baptist, or a Methodist, or a homosexual, or a black person, or an Asian person, or a woman. If he made those statements about any other group of people, there would be cause for his head to be rolling. Where is the outrage? Where is the concern expressed by the public? This country is not a theocracy. This country was founded on the principles of freedom of religion, freedom of speech, where everyone is able to practice their faith. Everyone is supposedly not supposed to be discriminated against for their religious beliefs. Many of the founding fathers were familiar with Islam. And there's a book that I want to read about Thomas Jefferson and the Quran that I came across while I was briefly doing research for this video. But we have to stop judging people as groups and start to judge people based on their character and their personality and their merits as individuals. To paraphrase what Dr. King said, we really need to rise above this hate. And I really hope that Ben Carson apologizes for his statement. Apologizes, especially as an African American man who knows a lot about racial discrimination. So with that, I'll just say peace. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.